Hello, this is Scholar Shark doing some math. Today we're going to look at some special right triangles. Um, and here they are. They're called a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle and a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. In a 45, 45, 90 degree isosceles right triangle, the length of the hypotenuse is square root of 2 times the length of either leg. So what you want to do is look. We want to memorize this triangle. So the two legs in the triangle are equal, so isosceles, and they intersect at the right angle. They're also opposite of the 45 degrees. So if I look at the big picture here, if I start at this 45 degrees and go to the opposite side, that's x. If I go to this one, that's also x. And then opposite of the right angle is x root 2. Okay? So let's do, before we look at the 30, 60, 90, let's go ahead and do an example. So find the length of the hypotenuse. Remember, hypotenuse is opposite of the longest side here. So we're looking for this guy. And let's call him H. So we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So it always follows this pattern. X, X, X root 2. So if this is 6, that means this is 6, and that means this has to be 6 root 2. So let's do another one. So they tell you that these two sides are the same. That means this has to be a 45, 45 degree triangle. Okay, and we want to find this. So if this is x, this is x, this is x root 2. So x is equal to 4 root 2. So that means 4 root 2 times another root 2 is 4 root 4, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay. So they're always following this pattern, x, x, x root 2. So x, x, x root 2. That means x is 9. Alright, here we go again. So these are 45, 45. So opposite of the 45s are my x's. X, x. And don't get confused when they put in their own x. They're just telling you, find this side. Remember, this is x root 2. Okay? So if x equals 2 root 2, like let's change this to z so we don't get confused. So we're trying to find z. So if x equals 2 root 2, that means z is 2 root 2 times another root 2. Because remember, this is x right here. Those two. So this is 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, let's do it again. If this is x, this is x, this is x root 2. So I'm following the pattern here. That means x equals 12. Now you need to do some of these until you get used to the idea, but again, when you have a 45, 45 degree triangle, if this is x, this is x, this is x times the square root of 2. So if I gave you, if I told you, so this is 45, this is 45, this is 90, if I told you this was 3, that means the other leg has to be 3, and then the hypotenuse is that 3 times square root of 2. Alright? So that's what that pattern is all about. So let's look at the pattern of the 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this one's a bit more complicated. So if I go opposite of the 30, that is called my x. Opposite of 90, I'll double that. And then opposite of the 60, I'll take my x value and times it by square root of 3. So for example, so this is a right angle, this is 30. And let's, oh wait. Alright, let's make this 60 degrees, 30 degrees, right angle. So if I told you that this value was 6, this corresponds to my x value. So this is double that. So double of 6 would be 12. And this would just be x times the square root of 3. So 6 root 3. So let's go back to example 3. Alright, find the value of x and y. So this is opposite of the 60 degrees. That means 8 is equal to my... So again, ignore what these letters say. But I'm trying to find... Let's call this A and C here. Okay. 8 is equal to, if I look at my pattern, so let's draw a cheat sheet here. So here's 60, here's 30. Opposite of my 60 is x root 3. Opposite of my 30 is x. And then this is double x. Okay, so opposite of the 60 is equal to x root 3. So 8 is equal to x root 3. Okay, that means we need to solve for x. So I divide both sides by square root of 3. And we'll get x equals 8 divided by square roots of 3. But we don't like having square roots in the denominator, so we multiply both the top and bottom by square root of 3. So we'll get 8 times the square root of 3 over 3. Okay, so this is x. Okay. So my a value here is 8 root 3 over 3. Okay. And then my c value, so I'll go back to the cheat sheet, opposite of 90 degrees, that's double what x is. Since x is 8 root 3 over 3, I'm just going to double it. 16 root 3 over 3. 8 times 2 is 16. Alright, let's do another one. So find the height of the equilateral triangle. Okay, so they tell you it's equilateral triangle. That means all these angles are 60 degrees. So if they split it in half, this is 30 degrees here. So we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So let's bring out my cheat sheet again. 60, 30. So opposite of the 60 is x squared, x times the square root of 3. Opposite of 30 is x, and this is double x. Okay. So we're looking for opposite of the 60. So h is equal to my x root 3 spot. But we do know what x is. X is opposite of the 30, which is 16. So h is just 16 times the square root of 3. Alright, let's do some more. 30, 60, 90. Okay, opposite of the 30 is my x. So x equals 2 root 3. Opposite of the 60 is equal to x times root 3. So if x equals 2 root 3, that means our z value here is 2 root 3 times root 3. which is 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay. Part B, they give you no angles, but do notice that this is 12, this whole side is 12, and that whole side is 12, making an equilateral triangle. That means these are 60 degrees right here, and that means that piece is 30 degrees. Okay, opposite of the 30 is my x, and then h is equal to x times the square root of 3. So since x equals 6, we have 6 times the square root of 3. Now there is another way of solving for h, if you remember the Pythagorean theorem. But using these special right triangles, we can solve these a lot quicker. Hopefully this helped you out. Have a good day.